epic thumbnail tutorial. Just making a short video to show people how I make my thumbnails. I had Durser reach out to me. He wants to know how I make my thumbnails. So I thought, why not make a tutorial? Yes, I have my pea shooter smoking a blunt right now. So let's make a blunt shooter thumbnail, I guess. So the way I do it's actually... I guess it's simple, but there's a lot of steps to it to make them actually nice and polished. So obviously the first thing I'm going to start off with is... So most of this is actually being made in-game. First thing I'm going to start off with is putting my reticle to none. This gets rid of the HUD and everything in the crosshair. So that's not in the way. And then usually what I like to do is find some sort of background to put myself up for the thumbnail. So I usually get rid of my webcam, take the character here, put him like a few bits away from the wall, like not like this close, not this close, but like this far. And I am dying to a Gargantuar. Give me a second. So you do an emo, turn your screen around, and this will capture the character kind of where you want it. I'll explain it in a minute. But I just do this a few times until I get the background clear and the character clear. Just try around with like different angles. So now I got that recorded. I will see you in a second for the next part. Alright, so now for part 2 of making the thumbnails is you don't even need to be in the game anymore. So you can log out of the game if you want or just minimize it. I use the website Canva, just canva.com, or you can do the mobile app. It's easier online though, and there's more features. So I use the Canva app. I go to the YouTube thumbnail part in the create section. Just go to my uploads, and I mean, there's probably an easier way to do this next part, but I take the recording I just did, which is, I think, this file right here. Oh, I have to trim it. Give me a second. Alright, so I just trimmed the file. Make sure that your file isn't over a gigabyte, or Canva won't let you upload it. This recording I just did is 4K for about 30 seconds, so you should be able to shoot for about a minute and a quarter for the thumbnail footage, and it won't go over a gigabyte, so that should be fine. I have to find the file. Alright, now that I have the file uploading to Canva, it's a video file, I wait for it to fully upload. I'm talking again. And I go like this, and now I find the point in the video where I want the thumbnail to be taken. So, like, kind of something stupid, like a stupid angle. Like... Usually takes a bit of experimenting just to find, like, which one works the best. But once you do get it, you'll be able to use that. Okay, so this one's not too bad. So basically what I do after this is kind of like a shoddy way to do it. This is how I've always done it, is I use the snipping tool, and I just make a new one and capture the entirety. You can't really see this, but I'm capturing the entirety of this area here. And then I do another one where you just capture around the area where the character is. So like a small box. You can't see this, but I'll show you in a second. So the first snipping tool I take is of this entire landscape here, and then the second one is kind of just a box around the character, making sure to get every single part of it, like not clipping out this massive blunt or his hand or his face. Just giving like around this much space between each part of the character, just so it's easier for the next step. So the next step is you go to this website called BG Remove. Remove.bg. Just look it up, just type it into Google, it would be the first result. And then what you do is you upload your image. I think I have it in screenshots. And I take the smaller one that I made, drop it into here, and then it's going to cut out everything but the character because it's erasing the background. Sometimes this might not work, so you might have to like experiment with the lighting you're using or the background. Like some random part of the background could get like stuck right here in the character, for example. I've had that happen a few times. You just reshoot or use a different part of it. It's really hit or miss. It just depends on the lighting and everything and how well this can pick it up. So you just download that. I already did. I just did it twice. Now this next part is probably the easiest part. Is get rid of this, and you take the first screenshot you took, which is a screenshot of the entire area, and you upload that again. I got that pretty much spot on. And then you drag this to around about where you want the character to be. So I want him to be pretty much dead center frame. Take him like that. And now a neat trick is I found if you're in full screen Canva PC, if you drag this down to around 27 or 28, that's about the size of a YouTube thumbnail in full screen. Like if you have your browser in full screen on Google Chrome. So I drag it down to 27 to see how that looks. Maybe it could be a bit bigger. And then, boom, he's right there. So now we're going to get to some of the polishing areas of the thumbnail. Next, what I like to do is use this auto adjust feature, messes with some of the lighting. That looks pretty good. Usually I don't worry about this too much. And then I will edit the photo, go to blur, and then add around anywhere from 30 to 50% blur. We're just going to start with 40. 30 to 50% works the best because you're giving that background blur to the character to make it look like it's popping out of the screen. Now we're going to upload our picture onto the screen here that we got from the background remove site. We're going to put him on top, and then we're just going to match up his size with the size of the guy that's already on the screen here. It's a little hit or miss. It takes a little adjusting, but eventually you'll get it, and it'll basically look like he's popping out of the screen like that. Now you can adjust him a bit, turn him around or whatever. That is almost where I want it. There, boom. So that's basically where I want the character. Now I'm going to edit this and also auto adjust the image. That'll just help it pop out more. Now the last thing I like to do, which actually really brings this together, is there is an image upscaling feature inside of Canva. Usually for the background, I'll do like anywhere from 2x to 4x, usually just 4x. It upscales the image and like makes it look nicer. So that's going to upscale the background. You don't want him too small to where it's like, you can obviously see there's something behind it, but you don't want him too large where it covers up the entire character in the background, because then it doesn't look like he's actually popping out of the screen anymore. I don't have any complaints with that. So now I'm going to select the image upscaling for this guy. Hopefully this works. I usually go anywhere from 2x to 4x. I think 8x might be too much. So we'll just try 4x. That's just going to polish up the character and make him look nicer. Now I think it's important that you do the upscaling before you do the... Yeah, look at the difference there. Before you do the... What is it called? My brain is on fire. It's important that you do the upscaling before you do the auto adjust colors or mess with any of the quality settings. I'll show you in a second. So it's going to look like garbage for a second, and it's going to look good. It's important to do the upscaling before you do any of this auto adjustment or any of these. I usually just click auto adjust because it's usually the best. So it's going to look like garbage for like a few seconds usually. Continues to look like garbage, then we have a problem. There it goes. So that is basically one of my thumbnails. Usually what I do after this is from online. I don't need that. Usually what I do after this is I just... What is happening? Just add some text. I like to use this Brandon Wright. And then I go into effects. I go to splice. Turn this to white. So you make the text black and this color here white for the splice, so that the black will be on the outside and the white will be in the middle. It's really confusing. I usually put this stuff doesn't really matter. I usually just put this to 80 and these to both of these to around 35. It really doesn't matter. It's just personal preference. And then I can just put like some stupid text like lay blunt shooter. And then, like, do whatever I want with it. Can put it up here. or down here. It would probably look best like this, and then put the position backward. If that'll work. This thing is lagging out more than usual. It's actually really annoying because it never does this. There. Now it's backward. Now it's behind the actual character. That looks pretty nice. You can experiment with the text and stuff. I mean, that's just, this is all, this last part's really just personal preference. But that is how I make my thumbnails. There's a thumbnail up close. They don't look as good when they're up close. I mean, this isn't my best work for a thumbnail, but it's decent. You can really experiment however you want with this. They look better when they're smaller, for some reason. But yeah, that is how you make a thumbnail. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave any comments down below if I can improve any of this or do anything better, and I will see you guys later.